Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today doing my weekly reading recap, as they call it in the streets, and got a whole host of books to talk about, 4 of them in total, so why am I wasting any more time? Let's just talk about them. First and foremost, we'll talk about the book I finished this week, which was the second Harry Potter book, Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. I'm doing my reread of this series, taking it slow, rereading it for the first time as an adult. I recently watched all the movies sort of on a whim. I knocked them all out in 4 or 5 days, just because I guess I was needing a hit of nostalgia, and then obviously that prompted me to read the books, and here we are, 2 books deep and loving every page. But yeah, not much to note on this book. Obviously the first 2 books aren't the most revolutionary thing when it comes to storytelling. They're good stories, but I think they mirror each other pretty seamlessly. A lot of the plot structure and even some of the plot elements between books 1 and 2 are mirrored. And so yeah, not a whole lot to say on my second reread of this book. Yeah, just a good story through and through. I'm finding some more humor in it than I have found in the past when I was younger. I don't know if that's just, I don't know, maybe I find more things funny now than I did back then, or if there's some like grown-up humor thrown in there, or just like the dry, witty, I'm talking about you, Ron Weasley, comedy in here. So it was good. No real notes, nothing to really write home about. I enjoyed my time reading this book. Enjoyed it so much that I just picked up the second or third book in the series. I own them all. They're sitting up there on the top of my shelf, sort of front and center as I'm rereading the series. But yeah, here we go. Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. I've been reading this book this week, a little over halfway through. Got about 200 pages left. I think this book is like 440 pages, so decent way of the way through this. I listened to this on audio this weekend. I was actually in the car up driving to my grandparents' place. Spent a couple days up there for their 90th birthday, a momentous occasion indeed, and I wanted to read, but I can't read in cars. I don't know if that's like I know a lot of people like can't really read in cars. Let me know down below. Can you guys read in car? Obviously not when you're driving, but like if you're a passenger in the car, can you sit there and read a book? Because I never have been able to, but I wanted to progress through my books, and so I got the audiobook of this. How many times can I say book in this video? I got the audiobook of the third Harry Potter, and yeah, chunked my way through. I got about 200 pages left, like I said. At the end of the day, this is a young adult / children's book, so if I really wanted to, I could finish this in probably 2 hours or so, maybe 2.5 hours, just because the margins are on your side. There's not a whole lot of words per page. I know the story. It doesn't use very much dense language, things of that nature. None of these are knocks on the book, by the way. I think the series is fantastic, but I've been enjoying taking my time through the series, enjoying it so far, so much so that I've really put a hold on my other book. I typically have 2 books going at once for the longest time now. The second book has been The Prince of Tides by Pat Conroy. I've been reading this book for 5 weeks now, in saying that I haven't read it for 2 weeks, so yeah, I think that needs to change. I'm about halfway through this book. This is a vast, sprawling family epic drama. Deals with things like grief, mental health, growing up in a traumatic family, having traumatic experiences as a kid, and sort of them translating into your adult life. Definitely check your trigger warnings on this book before picking it up, because it can be a handful. Yeah, very dense, and it's also very long. I think the audiobook is like 30 hours, which is pretty long for a book, but I've been enjoying just reading something light for a change. Maybe this book sent me into like needing a lighter series to tide me over, which is I guess why I picked up the Harry Potter book. But I need to finish this book because it's sort of killing me that I'm only halfway through. And so I think I will do just that. Once I'll finish The Prisoner of Azkaban, hopefully within the next 2 days, 3 days maybe, I'll start making my way back into the world of The Prince of Tides. And I've been liking this book. It's very good, but it's very dense, just with some of the subject matter that it covers. And yeah, I love my family dramas, and this is one for the ages. I'll keep you guys posted on this book. But yeah, so far, so good. Alrighty, that covers the 3 books that I'm currently churning through. I think I said in a previous video a couple weeks ago, maybe 6 weeks ago or so by now, this thing that I have coined, and I've seen no one else call it this, but a seasonal reading slump. I've been reading for 3 years. Well, I've been able to read for longer than 3 years, but I've been reading as a hobby for probably 3 years or so. And each time, my reading has taken a significant dive off a cliff during the warmer months. Like, for example, last year, from the months of March to July, I didn't read a single page. Not one recorded page in my Goodreads app was read from March to July. And that is okay. I'm not really, I mean, I am a numbers guy by nature, but I don't really put much stock in like the amount of books I read or how fast I'm reading books, but I do see that I would like to read more, purely for the joy of reading, not to pump up pages read or books completed in a given time frame. But yeah, with that being said, I have noticed a significant drop in the amount I have read in the previous months, as I'm sure you guys have noticed as well. If you can recall, or if you've been here since the beginning, any OGs out there, I started this channel January of this year, and I definitely read more in the winter months. As I'm sure maybe a lot of other people do. It's colder out, there's less to do, so you're inside and reading. Back in the winter months, we'll call it like November to February, I very regularly read 2 books a week, 500-600 pages a week, and it's like no problem for me. But now I'm like struggling to read a Harry Potter book per week, which is, 300-400 pages of YA fantasy, and that is okay. I'm enjoying what I'm reading, and that's the main thing. As long as I am reading and I'm enjoying it and pages are being read, I still value that aspect, but my focus also has been on other things. I'm sure you guys have noticed, like my health and fitness stuff that I have been doing has taken a bigger chunk of my mental capacity. I'm also working full-time, which I haven't been, well, I did last year, but I wasn't when I started reading and things of that nature, and I'm an adult, so like keeping up with friends and family is definitely more taxing than it has been as a younger person. But all that to say, I'm not necessarily reading less and not noticing it. I have noticed this, and it has now become a trend, and now basically, long story short, I just can't wait for it to be cold so that I can read inside all day and not worry about it. But speaking of cold weather and books, I got a new book this past weekend. Like I said, I was out of town for my grandparents' 90th birthday, and I mean, what else do you do when you're in a new town and you got nothing else to do? You go to Barnes & Noble, of course, and browse their books. Book haul may be coming soon because book prices are ridiculous. I have not bought a new book in a while, and even still, I was like sort of blown, like a $25 for a paperback book. Like, are we serious right now? Anyways, yeah, we'll say a thrift book haul is coming through. I was basically window shopping in Barnes & Noble and then adding it to my cart in thrift books and bought all the books I found interesting there, except this one, which is not a new release, but more of I don't know, maybe it's not very popular, so there weren't very many used copies available, and it was cheaper. I mean, it's cheap for a paperback at Barnes & Noble is not cheap nonetheless, 16 bucks, so not awesome, but still a decent price. Cold Weather, Book Fans Unite. I picked up, I think it's probably better if you read it like this. It's called Drive Your Plow Over the Bones of the Dead. Sounds very ominous. This book was recommended to me by Emmie Reads, or Emma Reads. I'm sure you guys have seen her channel. She is huge in the booktube space, just like in the life vlog space. I find her videos very comforting. She puts out these like 45-minute to an hour long vlogs once a week on just like shit she does. She reads, I don't know, does yoga and exercises, she cooks, she goes for walks. It's like the female embodiment of me, obviously with way better editing skills. And yeah, she recommended this book on her channel, I think a while ago during some of the winter months. This is a winter book, and this tells the story. Oh, let me just read the back. It says, in a remote Polish village, Jaina devotes the dark winter days to studying astrology, translating the poetry of William Blake, and taking care of the summer homes of wealthy Warsaw residents. Her reputation as a crank and recluse is only amplified by her not-so-secret preference for a company of animals over humans. Then a neighbor, Bigfoot, turns up dead. Soon other bodies are discovered in increasingly strange circumstances. As suspicions mount, Jaina inserts herself into the investigation, certain that she knows who done it, if only anyone would pay her mind. So yeah, a sort of dark murder mystery set in a snowy village. Like, I just need to be transported to this town immediately. And yeah, a big sort of theme in Emmie's book recommendations is that she loves winter and snow and glaciers and things like that. She's from Canada, so I guess that checks out. I've got a couple of books that she's recommended to me, I guess namely Magic Mountain by Thomas Mann. I picked that up because of her, based on her recommendation, and it sounded very similar to my favorite book of all time. Hashtag put you on right there. The only book that's standing loud and proud in its own display, Heaven Has No Favorites by Eric Remarque. Both have seemingly similar setups, and I thought that book, Magic Mountain, was sort of right up my alley. But yeah, back to this book, Drive Your Plow Over the Bones of the Dead. I probably should say the author's name. Yeah, Olga Tarkuczek. She's Polish. Written in Polish, translated to English. But yeah, definitely excited to read this. Maybe this will put me in a more wintry state of mind. And I don't read a whole lot of murder mystery books. That is definitely a gap in my reading. Like the Frida McFadden Housemaid series, I own the series. I haven't read it yet. So maybe this sort of standalone is the thing I need to kick off that sort of era of my reading career. And yeah, she did win the Nobel Prize for Literature, so what can I say? This should be a good book. It's a shorty, little popcorn book, less than 300 pages. And I read the first couple pages in the store, and yeah, definitely seems right up my alley. I'm excited to get into this when and where I do. Like I said, I got plenty to read behind me, but I needed a work from this author. I've heard great things about her and was looking specifically for this book, and they had it, so I had to get it. But yeah, I think that'll do it for me today. A bit more rambly than typical, but hey, don't knock the camera over. Good one there, Sam. That's what you guys should expect from me, I guess. Off the cuff book ramble chats. Just a variety of books. We got Harry Potter, we got family epics, we got murder mysteries, we got cold brew with chocolate milk. Like, what else do you need in life? I can't really think of anything else. But yeah, we'll leave it at that. Appreciate you watching up until this point. If you have, consider subscribing if you're new. Give it a like if you liked it, and things of that nature, all that YouTube stuff. And yeah, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and we'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for hanging out, guys.